Hello everyone, I am here today with Thijs, Molendijk. I might have said that wrong, but he will say it correctly in a few seconds. He is a Hearthstone player from the Netherlands, currently playing for G2 eSports. He is a two-time European champion, almost a world champion, everybody knows him. So hello Thijs, how are you doing today?
Hello, it's good to be here. I'm doing good. I had quite a lot of fun already while playing some Hearthstone, and yeah, well,
That's
pretty
great.
excited for the interview.
I'm very excited too.
Mhm.
So we had a small introduction about you, but could you tell me a bit more about yourself?
Yes, I am Thijs, as you already said, from the Netherlands, 22 years old now, and I started playing Hearthstone 3 years ago, where I first played it quite casually, and I was always already like, once I started to playing some tournaments and it went well, I quite had a lot of motivation for the game and not really a lot of gaming background. I played some other strategic card games a little bit before, also some poker, but never really a lot. And yeah, now already a professional Hearthstone player for more than 2 years.
That's awesome. So your BattleTag is your actual name. How come you didn't pick up a nickname for your gaming needs?
That's a really easy answer actually. I'm not really a creative person, and I was like, yeah, let's just do something easy. I was never really thinking already that like through. I was just like, oh, this is an awesome game. I just want to play it a little. Let's see how this game is, and I just put my own name in, and that was. But that colon B, so I had to put like NL behind it, what comes from the Netherlands. So yeah, that's the reason why I came in. But it turns out to be quite a fine name actually. It's not that in the Netherlands, it's a really no name, Thijs, but outside of there, besides that, it's hard to pronounce. I'm totally fine with my battle tag.
That's awesome. So you are part of G2 Esports, one of the biggest organizations in the world. How did that opportunity come around and join them?
It's something that came on my way during my Hearthstone career. I started just as a sailor casually, but after playing some tournaments and doing quite well with some pretty nice achievements, I got picked up by a smaller team that time. It was MIM. It was for sure not the greatest organization, but it helped me to participate at some tournaments. It gained some attention, and yeah, after that, it was with Nihilem where I went to, what was a really nice organization, more from the World of Warcraft background. And yeah, then I was looking for, then I was really looking for like the big step to join like a really big organization. And G2 was really interested in taking the Hearthstone squad over, and I really wanted to stick with the team with Life Coach and RDU, what are two of my teammates that I'm already teammates from for more than 2 years, and we really work well together. We practice a lot together, and yeah, G2 came to us and wanted to yeah, they wanted to have us on the team, have an Hearthstone team, and yeah, I feel it also is I have to say it's really amazing to be on G2. They take care really well of their players, and we can just really focus on our game. They take care of the other parts, and that's really something I was missing in organizations where I could just be the player, and the other things got taken care of.
That's really nice to hear. We do expect organizations to treat their players
Mm.
in a good way.
Mhm.
So how did you pick up Hearthstone and what do you like most about it?
I picked Hearthstone. Well, how I picked it up was first really casually. Just it was the early beta where I just played the game, and I just found it a lot of fun, and I still find it a lot of fun. And I think it's also really important to enjoy the game you're playing. For some people, it gets a little bit. Of course, you have like peaks maybe and downs, but I really enjoy the game still a lot, and I picked it up as like playing some arena at the start, but then I really fastly, I'm like quite really looking for always high goals making to myself. So I was already trying to look for tournaments, and yeah, once that when I had that opportunity, I just went for it, and I didn't have any big goals of going so far, but it really turned out yeah, like this. And what I like the most about the game is. I just about like the strategy. I always enjoyed card games. Normally they were not online, and now we can just play Hearthstone, you can just play it everywhere. Everybody can play it. Everybody has access. It's a really friendly game in a lot of ways, and that's what I like about it.
Awesome. And how do you approach each season? And what strategy do you use to climb your way to the top of the rankings? Get legend, etc.
Every season, I try to implement or look for new strategies. It's always good to be good at some particular decks, but I also want to go always like try new different stuff out, try to make new decks. I really feel that you get a lot of knowledge in the guards if you also try different ways of like playing with them. And yeah, that is how I also try to improve myself a little. For ladder climbing, the first, like for me, ladder climbing is it's a little bit of something. Yeah, I just do it. I can do it with a lot of, or I do it with a lot of different decks. It's not that I really aim for it, but yeah, at the end of the season, I look what are the best decks for me to climb the ladder. How can I get an advantage over the current meta, the popular decks, and yeah, then I go with like a deck that I think fits the best, is good, and counters that, and try to get to the top ranks. And sometimes it doesn't work all the time. It's hard to be at the top of the ranks, but quite often it worked out. So yeah.
Yeah, you make it look too easy, however. So what style of decks do you prefer playing, and also do you enjoy the current meta?
The decks I prefer playing, I am more leading towards the mid-range to control style of decks. I really enjoy having more control over the game. I really, I don't think I think aggro decks are really good for the game, but I found it frustrating for myself when I am already behind a little bit in the early game and I have so little ways of coming back in the game that I don't really, I want to like blame all the mistakes, blame everything in the game on myself so that I could have done something different, and I like the control side. It takes so much effort for you to also do it, and it's just something maybe with my personality I like a lot. The current meta, I think the past meta was a little. I prefer that a little bit more. I really loved the meta where Handlock was dominating with patrons. Patron Warrior was a really great deck. Still, the current meta is still pretty fine. Now after Karazhan, you see still like new decks coming up and new things getting tried out. It's just a little bit that I feel there is a little bit too much power level maybe for the aggro decks. It is good, like control and aggro shot switch around, but I really feel a little bit too much power maybe in the aggressive style of decks.
I see. Speaking of that, you are in charge of making some changes in Hearthstone. What would you change?
Ooh, that is difficult. Like you have two different ways in Hearthstone. You have really the game itself and the competitive scene. Like Hearthstone is made for everybody, and I think some great concepts are made for everybody, but they are not that always that great for the competitive scene. Yoxeron, Tuskar, they are a little bit questionable for like the competitive scene. If you're not known with these cards, but these can really swing cards, or they can really switch games around in a little bit unfair way, maybe. And that is something for the competitive scene, I will just prefer that these cards are getting banned in the competitive scene because it's really not fun if games can be decided that early in the game or get swinged around. And for the rest, I think we are like Hearthstone is still young. There are things that can improve, that are things that are really awesome, and I think it's just how the game development goes a little bit. There are improvements, and I'm pretty sure that. But I really think it's already a great game.
That's great. So you first became known with your dominance at the famous ZOTAC Cups back in the days. Did you ever believe at that time that you would become a two-time European champion later and almost a world champion a year later or so? And in fact, one of the best players in the world?
Yeah, well, no, totally not. I mean, this is you kind of get into a flow, or once you are in things went really fast for me, and I can still remember playing the ZOTAC Cup, just like really motivated, but yeah, just online cups, and from there you get your first invite to online tournaments or to a DreamHack, and yeah, then afterwards being able to play at the European Championship and that I could win it. No, that was always been a dream for me, and yeah, now also that I could qualify myself again for the World Championship, it's something I could never think of, and I'm like yeah, super excited to play again at BlizzCon. And yeah, I think it's just a little bit. I do a lot for the game. I do a lot to improve myself every day. I want to improve myself, and I think it's an. I ask a lot from myself, but I see also where I get from it. So I'm really happy with it.
That's awesome. So where do you think do you owe this success, and what's the secret?
I guess I gave already quite some of my secrets away during the interview. I think it's the passion for the game. I think it's my personal motivation that I always want to. I'm always also, if I lose a game, sometimes games are you lose a game where yeah it gets unfortunate for you. At the end we are really playing with percentages and it cannot always go your way. But there are still ways to improve, and if you're looking at the small mistakes you're made every day and you really go over them and you analyze what you're doing, you try to become really prepared into tournaments where you know what to expect and you want to get an advantage. Just a lot and now also my experience is a little bit of an advantage because
Of course.
people that are coming now for like that are really good and are playing already Hearthstone at a high level for a year. I have already quite some background of playing on big stages. I have background in old meta, so I know exactly what are the power of some decks and what are the weaknesses. And yeah, everything together, I think a little bit made the success happen.
All right. So what are your goals for Hearthstone this year and maybe the first months of the upcoming year?
For this year, my main goal, it was actually like doing just well, and I was hoping that I could maybe play at the European Championship again and qualify myself for the World Championship. That it actually happened, I was just really proud of for myself. I wasn't sure if it could be possible because it's just so hard to do. And now, yeah, well, with going to BlizzCon, I was there last year. I became to the semifinals where I played an insane series. I cannot put myself on another goal than going there to win BlizzCon, and it's a really high goal, but I really need to set it for myself because if I will go to the semifinals again, yeah, well, you wanna do in one step further. And what the goals will be for me for next year, it's gonna be a little bit rough to say. I also really enjoy the streaming part of the game. I enjoy learning new people playing the game. I enjoy trying to make new decks. Sometimes they might not be as like competitive as others, but I really try to build my own decks and try to learn other people, the game, and that is what I also find super awesome. So we'll see what my goals are for the competitive wise the next year. I guess it's gonna be something similar.
Sweet. So do you have any advice or thoughts you'd like to share with your fans or other aspiring competitive players that want to be like you?
Well, as a more advice of thought, as I already said, you should always don't put too much high pressure, high goals on yourself at the start. Just enjoy what you're doing, and yeah, be a little bit critic maybe sometimes to yourself, like what could I do better. You can sometimes games go indeed unfortunate, and you can look at these points, but you can also look at the points where you might have could have maybe done a little bit another decision. And yeah, just look a little bit around, maybe watch some streams from people from time to time to see if it can help you a little bit. And yeah, but just enjoy the game. Like, it's really important to enjoy the game. I think if you at some point get to a state where you won't enjoy it because of the high pressure you put on yourself, I think might go a little bit hard.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. Do you have any final shout-outs?
Well, the shout out, of course, to my team and my teammates, G2. Really, they give me this opportunity. They make it easier for me, and they do quite a lot behind the scenes that I really appreciate them, so they deserve it for sure. Same for my family that is super supportive and all in the good and in the bad times. And yeah, just thank you for having me. It was a cool interview, so thanks a lot for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having this interview with me. You can all follow Thijs on Twitter at G2 Thijs. I have it written right here. Make sure to drop him a follow. Thank you very much once again for having this interview with me. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.